Jason Dackman with SVG here with Steve Fiorello of Turner Sports. We are in week 2 of ELeague here in Atlanta, Georgia. Steve, let's start off. How did the first week of ELeague go here at Techwood Turner Studios?
It went well. Lots of anticipation. We had some exciting moments. We had Cloud9, which is a team that was unheralded, kind of put a scare into Luminosity, who is one of the top teams in the league. And from a production standpoint, we had a blast. Tried a lot of new things. It's a different space for me specifically. But yeah, we had fun. It was a huge success for us.
Very cool. Well, tell me a little bit about the studio. Anybody that watched on Twitch or on cable on the Friday night primetime telecast saw what seemed like an arena, really. Tell me a little bit about what you guys were trying to accomplish with the high-tech studio you built for ELeague.
So first and foremost, the goal was to make sure that the players had a venue that they can compete in and feel confident that there wasn't one team getting a distinct advantage versus another. There's lots of little nuances within the game that you have to kind of protect and prevent other teams from getting advantage. So that was first and foremost. The second thing was, what would that experience be like for a fan who came into the venue and sat in and experienced this thing? And that was making sure that the space itself lent itself for that, whether it's getting opportunities to kind of get close to the players, getting opportunities to get close to our talent, and just being in a compressed venue, unlike what you typically see in this space where they're selling out 10,000-seat arenas. And then lastly is making sure that the set was functional for other types of productions that we plan on doing in our studio shows that don't require any type of gaming productions or just basically just coming in and doing a studio show without a huge studio audience. That was part of the reason why we created the set the way that it is, with modular pieces such as the main desk set.
Cool. And the control room, obviously, producing live gaming is very different than producing a live stick and ball sport. But much of it is the same at the same time. So tell me a little bit about where it differs in terms of, I know, the observers. And it's very much a different workflow because you're cutting virtual cameras within the game a lot of the time rather than, cameras that are around a stadium.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in the game. But outside of that, everything's fine. No, there's almost like two productions going on at the same time. There's what we consider our traditional linear style type of producing and directing of the pregame shows, the halftime shows, and the postgame show. And then there's the whole in-game experience, which is a total nother production that's actually cutting the POV cameras of those players, which is the game action that you see. Melding the two together was interesting, but I felt confident that with our production knowledge of pregame shows, halftime shows, similar to what we do with Inside the NBA, that part we would kill and be successful in. The other part of the production, we leaned on our counterparts who are embedded in the space to kind of help create and direct and produce the gaming portion of it. So melding the two together really was the challenge, but everybody kind of put their egos aside and understood that the focus was creating as good of a production with the ELeague and eSports type of people, and then the linear Turner Sports type people. So that's kind of where we ended up.
Very cool, Steve. Well, you guys are off and running. Week 2 is a couple days in. You got a primetime show coming up on Friday. Stay tuned to sportsvideo.org for continuing coverage of ELeague, Turner Sports efforts, and make sure to turn into Twitch all week for live ELeague as well as the primetime show on Friday.